Jamar Chase is good at football. That's not really up for debate. But what I thought could be a good and fun debate is how good could he end up being? What is his ceiling? And I actually think in some ways he could get better. Well, kind of. I mean, so let's just get into it and start off with this play. So what's going to happen here, this is something that, like, I think it's fair to say his numbers might take a hit next year because we could see less of these exact scenarios. It's going to be a one-on-one matchup with a single safety deep. And quite frankly, I don't care who you have. I don't care if you have Jalen Ramsey on Jamar Chase. I don't care if you have Deion Sanders on Jamar Chase. Put safety help because he blows by everybody. Watch how right when this play begins, you do see how there's just that first move. He'll get you a little bit out of position, and that's all he really needs. Kind of one of the things that is so fascinating about Jamar Chase, coming out of college, I was a little bit concerned about him. I had him as my wide receiver 3 instead of wide receiver 1 like most people did because I kind of had concerns about, well, will his moves really work at the NFL level? They didn't often look that impressive. They just found ways to work, and I had my concerns about that. Well, it's the same in the NFL. It's just these small, subtle things that allow him to be able to be so successful. Watch him then just blow by that defensive back and gets wide open and is able to make the catch, make a move, and get into the end zone for a touchdown. He just makes it look so effortlessly that, it's quite frankly just unbelievable. Early on last year, teams definitely kind of, and even sort of towards the middle, and sometimes even at the end of last year, teams would say, do we really have to worry about Jamar Chase that much? We can, put him on an island. He's a rookie. Let's see what he's got. Let's make the rookie show what he can do. Well, that was stupid. I mean, that just did not work out. I have to imagine every team this year will say, let's not have an ego here. Let's realize what this guy can do. Let's take away those types of plays, which is something that you could see happening. But now let's move over to something like this because I want to show that he can win in other ways. He is not someone who has to beat you deep to win, which, by the way, if he was, that would still be a very valuable asset, right? Just that alone is, that makes you a Pro Bowl caliber receiver just with that. But he is more than just that. This play is kind of a great example of another one of those, like, I don't know how this works, but it just does so good work where it's the same concept that he's going up against, but he's not going to be running the go route. So even if there was an extra safety deep, it wouldn't matter too much, maybe a little. But look, as you see, Marlon Humphrey, who is a fantastic corner in his own right, is doing, I think, a good job of not allowing Chase to burn him deep. The safety is definitely coming over. So while there's only a single safety deep, there is safety help on this play, so I would still consider this, a situation where they're paying attention to Chase for sure. But then Burrow just throws to the back shoulder, and Chase is able to make the grab. Chase adjusts to the ball so well, and him and Burrow have such great chemistry that, they're just able to do this stuff consistently. So they don't need to burn you deep to beat you. Even, sometimes just the threat of being able to burn you deep, even with safety help, is enough for Chase. And also something like this, I was just so impressed rewatching. I noticed this for sure last year, but I was just, one of the things that really kind of hit home for me when rewatching film to make this video was how often he got past guys when he wasn't even running a go route. This is going to be, again, it's the same concept, but one-on-one matchup, but he's not running a go route. Watch what he's going to do. Watch him step to the inside, and it's that first step that allows him to be so fantastic. It's Devontae Adams-like. That's probably the best comp I could give for Jamar Chase, but Chase is, maybe not quite as good at the route running stuff, but he's much better at the, I think, down the field stuff than Adams is. So take your pick between those two guys. There's 1,000 receivers that everyone thinks should be in the top 5, but strictly when talking about the first step, I think that you can definitely make the comparisons there. You see how Chase just gets by Marlon Humphrey, a fantastic cornerback who, didn't have his best year last year, but a big part of that was because he had to play Jamar Chase. Like, that was a big chunk of why he didn't have his best year last year. Because then when Chase does cut over the middle, again, since he got by Humphrey was in just, panic mode, trying to get back to Chase. So whenever he cut, he was going to be able to get open, and does such a great job with the ball in his hands that he's able to pick up even more yards. So because of that, someone like Jamar Chase, again, that first step really is kind of what sets up everything, but he's so smooth at this other stuff that it's just impressive. Going over to a play like this, if teams want to start playing him this way, I don't think he'll have too much of a problem with that either. This is going to be a cover 3 zone, so it's worth mentioning. This, again, it's not a full-on, like, let's not let Jamar Chase beat us deep, but you're trying to not let him beat you deep, right? I mean, it's going to be, there's a safety deep, and Marlon Humphrey on this play is going to make sure that he gives Chase a lot of space. Chase is the one who, of course, I've circled in yellow, and watch how much space he gets. As you see, the play action, works out pretty well. Chase is wide open, makes the catch, and they pick up a first down, largely due to the threat of him going over the top. And again, that is always going to be what helps you in football. If you can win over the top, like, good things are going to happen. That kind of is, wide receiver 101. If you can win there, you're going to be successful, and he definitely can win there. And finally, one more play I want to talk about. This one's just absurd. So again, you see him one-on-one matchup, which is always going to be tough, and watch what he can do. I mean, look at this move. Just, fakes that he's going one way, boom, gets over the middle, wide open, makes the catch. That's an incredible play. On a third down and short, big play, being able to make that happen, that's just fantastic. Ja'Marr Chase is going to score a touchdown on this play. I'm not kidding. That's actually going to happen. If you've watched this play already, you know this. Ja'Marr Chase is going to somehow get a touchdown. And I feel like that's kind of one of my favorite things from last year, was just looking at still frames of some of Ja'Marr Chase's touchdowns and saying, how did he make this happen? Well, look, here's how. He manages to get around several tackles, and then he's just off. Again, so explosive. His 40 time actually wasn't like that amazing. It was solid. It was like 4.4s, and that was his pro day time. But he's one of those guys where his film tape is faster than his 40 tape. Everyone says that their film is better than their 40 time. Well, he's someone who that's actually true with. So that's just, again, it's just an incredible play. And the reality is the results this guy produced as a rookie is absurd. And I think that he is a complete receiver who only has, the sky is the limit with him. I don't think that teams will be able to shut him down with a new concept, because I think he's so good at that other stuff, he'll still find his way to get yards and touches. When it comes to Ja'Marr Chase, I think you could make a comparison to Justin Jefferson, his teammate at LSU, in that Jefferson, a lot of how he got his yards his rookie year was by, a similar, kind of one route similar to how Chase did it. Now, it was a different route, kind of that play action crossing route over the middle type play that Jefferson was successful at. And so you could have said, well, what happens when teams start to game plan against that? Well, then Jefferson was able to adjust accordingly and find many more ways to have success. I think similar things will happen with Chase. In the sky is the limit. He could end up being, in the conversation for best receiver in football before too long. I don't think that's a crazy take given how well his rookie year went. There's still things he can improve upon, but that's not a bad thing. Given the fact that he's so young, he probably will. So really good stuff with Ja'Marr Chase. That's kind of what I think about Ja'Marr Chase. What do you guys think? What are your thoughts on Ja'Marr Chase? Do you agree that the sky is the limit, that he can only improve? Or do you think this is kind of around where he will max out at? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.